Hi, and welcome to day 32 of our 40 days through the Gospel of John. I'm in John chapter 15, and I'm particularly circling around the verses 9 to 17. I don't know if you know, but when someone sends you a text, you get to choose what tone of voice you read it in. Depends what you think of that person or what you think they might be implying. That will influence the tone of voice that you hear in your mind of the text that you're reading. The same is true with the Word of God. As we read the Bible, we get to give it the tone of voice that we think it deserves. And I don't know if you've ever had anyone ever say to you something like this: if you really loved me, you'd do that for me. Maybe even in that tone of voice. Well, I've got to say, what we read in John chapter 15, we're in danger of reading with that very same tone of voice. Verse 10 of John 15 says, "If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love." I wonder what sort of tone of voice you could give to that. Verse 14 says, "You are my friends if you do what I command." We're in danger of reading it and hearing that God is somehow manipulating us, somehow coercing us, going, if you loved me, you would do what I said. If you really want to be my friend, then you've got to do what I command. And that's why I want to really encourage you to read verses 9 through to 17, because particularly this passage is saturated in love, in God's love, in his love for us, and the love that he calls us to show one another. That's what it says in this bit here. It starts with Jesus saying, "As the Father loved me, so I've loved you. Now remain in my love." This is the theme that you'd have heard on one of the other previous days in this 40 days, that Jesus says we are to love one another. That is the actual command. That's what he's saying. This very last verse in this passage, verse 17, "This is my command, love each other." You know, Jesus is saying that if you're my friend, then you will experience my love. And if you are my friend who experiences my love, then you move in my love too. If you keep my command, the command to love one another, then you're going to experience my love within you. And he says, and you'll remain in my love. He says, "I've told you this is verse 11, so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete." Jesus is saying when we love one another, we experience his love and we experience the joy of his love. Now, as I've said before, this stuff is so much easier to say than it is to do. But that's the challenge. That's the challenge. Jesus is inviting us into a love relationship with him. And he's inviting us to be immersed in his love. And he's inviting that love to overflow from our lives to others. So how do you do that? Who is it this day that you need to show God's love to? Who is it you're finding hard to love? Well, the trick, the clue here is to remain in God's love. When you encounter someone who's hard to love, remind yourself of the love that God has shown to you. When you have the opportunity to show love to someone, think, how has God shown love to me? And think about it this way: what's the most loving thing I can do in this situation here? You know, because when you are steered by love, sometimes love says say nothing. Sometimes love says speak up. Sometimes love says do nothing. Sometimes love says do something. Listen to the Father's heart of love and move out of that this day. Have a great day.